Welcome to another episode of the Reach for Greatness interview series. Here at Reach for Greatness, we help women who want to start or grow their own best passion business and achieve the life and income they desire. Now, if you're using Facebook to attract customers, or if you're struggling to get engagement and get targeted leads, then this is the right place for you, because today I have a very special guest and friend of mine, which is Vanessa Hunt from Vanessa Hunt Consulting. And Vanessa, you've been in business since 2006, and you are already a seasoned marketing and CRM consultant. And what I love best is you have just launched this fabulous book called Facebook Inspiration. And I just love that. And I think this is the reason why we actually got together today, because I want to know more about that and how that can actually help small businesses with their social media. So Vanessa, over to you. If you would like to introduce yourself briefly, and then we'll talk about the book.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Vanessa Hunt, as you know. I have been working in marketing and IT pretty much all of my career, really. I also speak French and German and Italian. And so I started out delivering training on CRM systems, but I've always enjoyed marketing. I've worked as a product marketing manager for a technology company. And in recent years, I've really loved the fact that social media helps small businesses promote themselves on a relatively tight budget, but gives them a lot of flexibility to really be themselves and share their messages and promote their business in the way that feels authentic to them.
Mm-hmm. That's what I love about it. I mean, I've worked through these, and you know, you've got 30 days of creativity, and it's so interactive, and you know, it takes you on a journey, literally. It gives you so many ideas and real examples from, you know, things that you're using in your company. And maybe you could just talk a little bit about what led you to write the book.
Yeah, sure.
What was your inspiration?
I think probably my main inspiration was reading another book that I didn't think was very good, and thinking I could do something better. But I think the main reason was really that I had been helping companies use Facebook, so teaching them how to technically post something, share photographs, and do certain tasks on Facebook. But I think actually Facebook's quite intuitive for most people, and the thing that they were struggling more with was actually, what do I post that's different? How can I make my company and my message stand out? Because everybody's got access to using Facebook to promote their business for free if they're not using advertising. So it was also about helping people find ways to increase their organic reach where you're not paying for advertising. And also, I think if you do pay for advertising, you want to make sure that what you're sharing as an advert is also going to get an emotional response and get the engagement going quickly. So it was about, you know, really helping people fine tune what works for them in their business, what does their audience respond to, and how can they really get that idea of community going faster. So although it is 30 days, as I think you've noticed, you can work through it, you know, in a day if you really want to, if you're really focused. But the prime reason is really just to give people a guide as to what to do. And actually what's been really exciting is seeing how quite different companies have come up with totally different ideas, because the whole point is that it's bringing out your creativity and your values.
And I love the fact that it is a 30-day thing. And yes, of course, you can work through it faster. But I always think, like, we're all so busy and we're trying to do so many things. And if we break up things, you know, in bite-sized chunks and just do one thing, but we'll do it good, we'll do it well, just do the one thing and implement that one idea in that one day. And the next day we're looking at something else. So you're not getting overwhelmed.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And I think that's the other thing. A lot of books that have been written, there's a lot of words, and actually, you know, most people, as you say, are very time poor. And so I've really tried to get to the essence. So although it may look very simple, actually we're just going straight in there, getting to, you know, the key points. And I think one person said to me that day 4 just really helped them get clarity around their messages. And so I think once you have that message clear and your niche clear, then everything else becomes much easier. And I think the key thing for me, again, with, I wanted a fun cover because I want people to feel that marketing is fun. A lot of businesses say that they hate marketing, they hate promoting themselves. But actually, if you're running your own business, you have to learn to love telling people what you do. But if you feel that you are adding value, then you're serving people and you're not marketing. You're
Absolutely. And sales doesn't need to feel sleazy and salesy and chasing people. It's about showing what you can provide. You can provide value, perhaps even transformation. You can help other people in their lives. Absolutely. One tip I have picked up, which was very different, is it's before on page 82 it is actually. And I would like to share this tip because I thought that was very original. And this is about reading an article in your industry and then think of the opposite and try to disagree.
Okay, yes. So, yeah, I think that came from the fact that a lot of people, they feel that they've got to copy what their competitors are doing, or because they don't know what to post, they look at what everybody else is up to, rather than actually thinking about, well, what do I believe? What is my approach? And your approach is what will make you different and will make you stand out, and that will come across much more naturally. So I think sometimes coming up with a slightly controversial topic can be a good thing, because it actually gets you very clear around your own thinking. And also it shows that, there's a particular niche of person that you'd like to work with. And there are certain approaches that are not going to feel right for you. So I know we've talked about, mass emailing, and my pet hate about, signing up for a newsletter and then getting an email every single day reminding me to sign up and do more. And I don't like that approach. So that's sort of something that I would, feel very happy to write about, because I would offer an alternative approach. And I think it's about being practical, having something else, not just downplaying something without facts and without an alternative way of doing things. But yeah, I think it's much more interesting. It's much more interesting reading about what somebody really believes, because we're so much more influential and compelling if we are passionate about what we're saying.
Yeah, absolutely, and just dare to be authentic and true to yourself, and share your opinions, and become a thought leader. And that's how you actually gain influence and respect.
Yes, yeah. Very much so.
And one of the other things I really liked in the beginning was you actually asked to look at different websites and look at posts of the people that you really like and the reasons why you like those posts. So I actually came up with a number of things, and I actually found a pattern regards to what are the posts that really inspire me and that I actually respond to.
Yes, yeah.
That was a really good exercise.
Okay. Do you have one off the top of your head you could share?
So yes, definitely. I love posts that perhaps have a picture and then a quotation, an own quotation.
Yeah.
Like rather than sharing a quote from the internet, you can actually make your own. You can brand it to be your own, or actually you could probably make up your own quote and just sort of stamp your thoughts on it. There's quite a lot of people just share other people's content without adding their own thoughts. So that would be sort of my tip. If you do share someone else's content, then just write your own thoughts about it, or maybe a question. And by all means, share someone else's great stuff that you believe in and show that you support them.
Yeah.
But always add your own thoughts, add your own value and your own spin onto things as well.
That's very true. I think a lot of people do just share, and actually one of the reasons that I believe that you should always comment is because it demonstrates that you've actually read the article and that you're not just sharing things willy-nilly, but that you've read it, you've consumed it, you've digested it, and you are essentially filtering out what you think would be of most interest for your audience. So again, it's about personalizing what you're sharing, because anyone can share an article, but it's what you say about it that really matters.
Absolutely.
And you might then pique the interest of others, And that's what I found so interesting with a lot of my clients that are using the book, and I know are using the book, is actually seeing, what are the articles that I'm seeing that they are getting much clearer about their message, their marketing message, and their niche, because they're really drawing out the things that interest them most in what they're reading. And I just think that just makes it so much easier to understand what somebody's trying to do with their business.
And I think this is a good method. And again, going back to productivity, it feels like a huge task to come up with Facebook posts every single day. Mm-hmm. And I was just thinking about this myself recently. How can I manage this better? How can I recycle content? And it's true to say that I would read something. I've got like tons of books and I'm sure I could just share some of the thoughts. And that was one of the exercises, again, that you suggested, to say, just share what you're reading and maybe also add your thoughts. So it's not something extra. And the other thing I'm sort of trialing now is to put posts together sort of on one day and then pre-schedule them. Because once you're in a creative mode, I think you can write much quicker, you come up with more ideas, and then perhaps you can also write posts that follow on from each other, and there's perhaps a series or a topic within the 1 week. So that's probably one of the tips that I could share and came out from the book as well.
Okay, great. And I think, actually I'm talking tomorrow at another at an event about how to manage your marketing over the summer months. And actually what came out of that for me as I was writing it was, well, actually we should be applying this best practice all of the time, because it was about, fine-tuning your time, doing things efficiently. One thing I love doing, I love reading a lot, like you. So I read books, but I also love reading, articles and blogs. And so I think if you just do what you love doing anyway, and then you just notice, and then that was the other thing, it's about noticing the little details in the things that we see. I went out for, I can't help myself. So I went out for dinner with my husband last week, and I noticed that Illy have got a nice little branding message where they tell you to do something happily. And so there was an Illy on the end of, happily. And so I just took a photograph of my coffee cup at dinner, because, for me, it was about noticing a small marketing message. It's memorable. I could have a picture of it. I could add why I think, it's important to notice those details. And again, I think that says a lot about you and your company and your values when you share the things that you like and the things that make you notice them. Because that's probably going to reflect, your approach to business in some way.
And that was quite a personal thing, because you went out and you had dinner, and that's another thing that people are asking all the time: should I be using my personal profile, or do I have a business page? And the business page obviously doesn't get that much organic reach anymore. But I think generally, whatever method you're using, I think it's very important to show the human side as well, and not just posting sales messages all the time. It's probably a very good mix of 80-20 rule, I guess, that you sort of every fourth post perhaps is a promotional post with a link or a value add as well, to make people think about you and to understand what you're all about and what you can do for them.
Interestingly, I most of my things, so even that thing with the coffee cup and the photo, that was on my business profile, and I still feel that although people say organic reach is reducing, I think there's still a lot that you can do with your Facebook page, provided that you've got the right kinds of followers, and provided that you're sharing good content that increases, the number of people that are following you. And I know, there's always, I think the other thing that's good about the page is that it gives you for the ability to schedule. So like you said, it allows you to prepare things in advance. It also allows you to sort of often I will schedule things and actually I see that a theme is developing because of what I happen to be reading that week. So it's very easy to juggle around the order of what you're sharing.
Yeah.
So it actually gives you more cohesion in terms of what you're sharing, whereas it can feel a bit sporadic otherwise. And also, the book is not saying that you shouldn't have an ongoing campaign. If you've got an event that you're working towards, you're going to want to be telling people about that event and promoting it. So all those things can happen alongside, but I think it just kind of gives people a guide and really just the confidence to know that they're sharing something that will be valuable, and not have to think too much about it. Just focus on what makes them smile or respond to things.
Excellent. Yeah, I think that's a good point. Thank you very much, Vanessa. I'd like to ask you, where can we find you on the internet? And obviously down below there's a button to buy the book.
Oh, fantastic.
Of course.
Thank you very much.
So, and what's your website?
So my website is nice and simple. So it's vanessahunt.co.uk. I'm also on LinkedIn as Vanessa Hunt. And on Twitter, you'll find me under @trainer_CRM. And on Instagram, va.hunt.
Excellent. So, buy the
and
book.
Of course, Facebook, I didn't even mention Facebook. Vanessa Consulting on Facebook.
So, right. So, I would recommend this book.
Okay,
it's great. Yeah, it is a working tool, really, and I do like working tools. And I'm always supporting things that sort of help you implement as you go along. I'm a very big fan of that as well. So thank you very much. It was a pleasure to have you. Yes.
Can I just say that I am very impressed that you've actually written in your book. I know we talked about not wanting to write in the book.
It's tough. Yes.
It was too beautiful, but I've managed
so nicely done.
to write in it. So my work's done.
Okay, thank you so much, Vanessa. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
Thanks for the interview and sharing your insights. And I hope the audience also enjoyed this. This is Sabine Matharu, and this is Reach for Greatness, where we help entrepreneurs build a passion business, grow a business. So have a look at the website. It is reachforgreatness.co.uk, and have a look below. Have a look at Vanessa's book as well.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Danke. Tschüss.